out very easily there. Matthew, first impressions of Pierrette Patates, how we stumbled across it the first time, and when we walked in today, what are your thoughts, Pierrette Patates?
I'd like to start off with my last impressions.
Okay.
If that's doable.
Sure.
I don't think I can ever go back in because the whole time I was walking back, I was just replaying this moment I paid in my mind, and I gave such a bad tip, and I didn't really think about it.
I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention either. I was just like, you put my stuff down because I left my stuff everywhere. You put some of it down there. I had to go back and get my coat, and I was just focused on that. So the bill was, I think, $27 and some change, and I gave him $40, and he gave me back $10 and some change, and I just gave him the change back. So I gave him like $2 and maybe 20 cents.
Yeah, that's not great.
And it wasn't great. And now when I replay it in my mind, I'm like, oh, that was not a good tip, and it was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. You give him like an 8% tip.
Yeah. And I don't love tipping, but I don't want to be the person who tips poorly.
For what it's worth, I think I gave an exorbitant tip last time. So maybe between these two, we balanced out in that way as well.
Maybe. But I thought distance would help, and I think it has. I think like once we got on the metro and came back, it's like, all right, that part of my life is behind me.
I'm over it. I would love if you went back just to be like, I should give you another $2. I'm sorry. Spend like, $2.75 both ways on the metro ticket just to give him $2.
No, I'd have to factor that in. Yeah, it's not $2.75 anymore.
How much is it? $3.25?
$3.25, maybe even $3.50.
$3.25. That's
$3.25.
Right. I buy them in the 10-pack of tickets, where it's like it breaks down to $2.80 a ticket. So I often forget.
Yeah, I buy them in the 2-packs, $3 each, $6 for a pass.
No, buy those 10-packs, man. It's worth it in the long run.
Yeah, but what if I die tomorrow? Someone can use.
You lost like $20. Big deal.
Someone can use those still.
That's true.
It's just not me. So first impressions, it was fine. A real small place. Three booths, and a little bar area.
Maybe 6 seats at the little bar area.
Yeah. The first time we went, I didn't want to go in. It was just we were in the middle of a dank little area of the world, and
really
it was
speaking highly of Verdun. Huh?
It was starting to rain. I don't understand Verdun. It just that part of the world. It just breeds, just unpleasantness.
You were speaking down about the people of Verdun today as we showed up at Gilligly's Metro. You said there's so many stray cats here. It's a different breed of people who live here who just let their cats out and let them wander about town.
Yeah,
strolling up and down Wellington Avenue.
Well, they may not even have homes, the cats. Who knows?
That's true.
I think that they just gravitate towards that area because it's so full of trash.
Matthew, up on your hill living in Westmount, looking down upon the commoners of Verdun. You know what, Matthew? This year, on Wellington, in Verdun, they're getting a satellite jazz fest. The Montreal International Jazz Fest is setting up a separate stage in Verdun and holding concerts there. That's the next big spot after Place des Arts. What do you think about that, Matthew? Think he'll just scare away the cats?
I think the satellite will be stolen before any use gets... is that? And I also feel like, that's what you do when you don't want to be there in person.
What do you mean?
Well, so they're broadcasting.
No. They're going to have a stage. They're going to have live performances.
What's the satellite for?
There's not a satellite. It is a satellite location. It's a separate location.
Oh, okay. I thought they were. I don't know. I think I just
broadcasting by satellite something that's happening.
I just heard what
2 miles away.
I heard what I wanted. I heard when the Metropolitan Opera broadcasts.
No. Yeah.
Here, and we get to see that, and it's like, no, I thought that's what was happening. It's like, well, we don't want Verdun coming downtown Montreal.
You stay in Verdun.
Yeah,
we'll put up a TV screen for you.
Yeah. You need there's a couple of old tube TVs on every corner of your streets.
Yeah, you just hang out on your balconies like you would anyway.
Yeah, sit on one of the dozens of mattresses that line your blocks. You can't get rid of them. You throw them out and 2 more take its place.
Mattresses?
Soiled worse than the last.
Okay, so last time we were actually looking for a completely different restaurant. that I found online. And when we arrived at the location of this restaurant, turned out it was a shoe store. Yep. It had clearly not been a restaurant in some time. And the internet lied to me. Surprise, surprise. So we just figured, hey, let's wander around, see what the first place we find is. We had one place in mind, which I'm sure we'll review on a future episode. Stay tuned for episode 176. And
176?
Yeah, that's when we'll review J'aime la patate.
Okay.
And
why?
I don't know. Okay. Arbitrary.
My future just it just appeared in front. I was like, 176. What will my life be like then? And we stumbled upon Pierrette Patates, and it looked like just the type of burger I felt like that day. Tiny little diner burger. I like a good diner burger, smushed down on the grill. We popped in, and like you said, small little place. We got a burger. Yep.
Did it feel any better today, Matthew?
It did feel better today, yeah.
It wasn't so gray and rainy today.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about today made me... I just felt a little better about going in. Because last time it felt like punishment. Last time it felt like punishment, and also it was the only salvation from the rain. Yeah,
it was raining, and we were just looking for any old burger.
Yeah,
today was a destination.
Today I felt like it was my choice.
Yeah, and it was.
To step into that place, and it was better for it. I didn't appreciate having to sit at the bar because you gotta like look right at the person cooking your food, kind of.
I guess, but not really.
I don't know. I don't know why I hate
there's
people
like an
so
elevated
much.
area by the bar, so you really just see like their heads.
Yeah.
You can't. You could, if you really wanted to, you could peer over and see what they're doing, but you don't need to.
No,
I didn't.
No, I guess I'm very nosy, and I have such a distaste for people. I don't know why. I don't feel like a negative, bad person, but sometimes I don't want to see people.
That's fair. I think that's more that you're just a shut-in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
You get a sunburn and you go, well, I'm just going to stay home for the next week.
I got really used to that lifestyle.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Didn't feel great, but...
Matthew, during that time, are you ordering in food?
No, I'm not eating because I feel like my body is boiling. Like the organs have already began to crisp and boil.
Do you like take a cold bath during that time?
That would have been a really good idea. I took a shower and on the lowest water pressure setting, and it felt like it really felt, and I'm not even exaggerating, like a bunch of little fairies stabbing me with daggers. Because they were so small, but I looked down.
Why a bunch of little fairies with daggers? Why not like wasps or mosquitoes?
I've been stung by a wasp. There's a little more of a chemical
sting
to that. Like it affects you differently, but it felt like there were so many of them. Maybe just a bunch of hummingbirds stabbing me with their beaks.
Okay.
But I looked down quite a few times because I had the sensation that I was bleeding.
Okay.
All over my body, but it was just the water trickling down.
Oh,
but the pain of the daggers was there, and then the sensation of the blood was there. So it was all nightmarish. It was so bad in the time that it was happening. I was like, I'm never going out in the sun again. And once it was over, I was like, I kind of like this tan. I might do it again.
So this past weekend, you were involved in the Tour de Nuit. The sort of spin-off of the Tour de l'Île, what would you call it? It's like a marathon, but a bicycle race where people don't really race. It's just people bike around the whole city of Montreal, and they close a bunch of streets. You did the shortened, about a quarter-length version of the full Tour de l'Île that happens at night for night owls who don't want to bike that much.
Yes.
Did you wear glowing costumes?
I wore all black.
Did you really?
Yeah. I want to be able to just sweep past people and not be noticed.
Okay.
I did have a reflector at some point, I think. I think they made us wear something.
That makes sense.
But there were no cars, but a lot of
true.
bikes. So bikes can cause injuries too. I don't know. It was not as rewarding as you might think because there was no skill involved.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a real slow bike ride with tons of people. I think 15,000 people, many of them children.
Okay. How many training wheels did you see?
I Not so many training wheels. I saw a lot of bikes with like an added compartment for children to sit inside.
Okay.
You know, like a little drag-along
Yes.
situation.
Did you see any three-wheel bicycles with large baskets?
I was looking. I did not see any, but I know that yours got stolen.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I think I asked if you were even available that night. Or if you still had your bike or something.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I thought you needed a bike. And
No.
I was like, Matthew, this is not the best pick.
No,
I'll get
no.
you there. But
I wanted to know if you had it, and then it was like, well, you can come along with us. It was fine. We could not go very fast because
that would
of
have been
the
perfect
sheer
for
number
my three-wheel bicycle.
of bicycles and children. And
Log jam.
yeah, it was rough. It was like you sometimes found like a nice little path and you could speed up and go there. But it was very strange. They had a lot of people not taking part in this marathon. It was just people lined up on the sidewalks, like camped out like they were there to watch a parade.
Yeah.
And then they would just cheer on the people, high five everybody. But it is like, you're not doing anything remarkably, you're not doing anything remarkable.
You're not saving anyone from disease.
No.
You're not raising money for breast cancer.
No,
you just paid $35 to go for a bike ride.
Yeah, it's a short distance and it is very easy to complete. Children are doing it.
Yes.
So it kind of felt like a mocking celebration.
Oh, like, hey, congratulations. You're blocking up the roads. Hey, you created a traffic jam in a city that's filled with traffic jams. But now it's a bicycle traffic jam.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
causing other car traffic jams.
That's kind of how it felt like. It felt like there were the people who were cheering us on for real, but it just felt like so strange. And then there would also be parts where we were biking through areas that had bars on either side, and there were just people out on the terrace yelling and, mockingly being like, you're going too fast, or
Okay.
or way to go, and whistling. It's like, oh my God, this is slightly embarrassing.
So, long story short, you did not enjoy the Tour de Nuit.
I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy the inconvenience that it must have been for other people.
What if next year
Like, nobody could cross the street.
Yeah.
15,000 people on their bikes, and you just want to cross the street, and there's no organization to it, and you got children who are just jetting out in front of you. There's
it's not like
obstacles
if you
too.
wait 5 minutes, you'll be able to cross.
No.
You're just, because there's just 15,000 people.
Yeah, all at varying speeds, at different, one person could zoom past you, somebody else is going really slow, so you think you can do it. But yeah, there were a lot of people that were almost hit.
I wonder, at a point like that, if you're like, listen, I live across the street, fuck it, I'm going to walk through, and if people hit me, I'll fight them.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be allowed?
Well, that's how I feel about most things. Like, if I need to get across the street and somebody's telling me I can't, like, sometimes they're shooting movies.
Yeah.
And they try to block an area off. I remember one time I needed to catch a train or else I was not getting home that night. And they're like, no, you can't go down this street. And it's like, well, yes, I can.
am going down the street because I pay taxes for these streets to go to the places I'm going. So I'm going there.
Yeah. Like, you already slowed me down. I was running and you stopped me to say I can't go. And it's like, I'm just going to run.
It's very rare that that actually happens to me, that I get stopped for a movie shoot. But because it has happened to me a few times, if I really need to be somewhere, I definitely ignore their warning. But if I'm not in a rush, I don't mind. I wonder what they're shooting,
Yeah.
Oh, they got a rain machine going. They're shooting in an alley. And it takes place in the 50s, so I can't walk by with my headphones. Come on, guys. Let me just walk by. No one will notice me in the background. And if they
Digitally
do, who
remove
cares?
you.
Yeah, that's it. Make them bump up their budget
Yeah.
so they could digitally remove a Sebastien.
But make sure that they catch it too, because you don't want to air the first time or show in theaters and then have to digitally remove you later. So as you walk by, wave your arms and yell out, "Digitally remove me."
This is 2019. Please digitally remove me. I will now do the floss dance so that you know it is from the present.
Yeah, it's like when we're recording and we know we have to edit something. We make like a loud sound or something that jumps out. Mm-hmm. That's what we got. That's what we got to do. What did you think about this burger place?
Matthew, Pierrette Patates. I walk in, first time. I was not in a great mood, and it was a gray day. And it was just the kind of burger I needed for that day. Today, different weather, different mood, and the burger was fine.
Was not the burger you needed for the day?
It was not the burger I needed for the day. I think today, something a little more opulent was necessary.
Okay.
for that gray, low key day that I had the first time. It was, that sort of comfort food that was hitting the spot. Yeah. Today I want some gold flakes on a damn burger. Give me some truffles and